Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ready to Emerge Detour Essentials Live. We are at season 5, episode 10. What an amazing season this has been with you, our emergers. We have 10 episodes down and one more to go. So, next week we have to make it very exciting. Not only will we have a special guest, but we're going to try and add a few more elements just to close out the year before we go on our break until January 2022. I can't believe we're even saying that, right, Kat?
Wow, I know, 2022.
It's literally here. So we want to welcome our emergers as well as any new emergers that are joining us tonight. We'd love you to let us know in the chat where you're joining us from. We also want to take a minute to thank our sponsor and partner, Sagicor, who has been with us for the last 2 seasons of Detour Essentials Live. We have so much more in store with this partnership, so watch this space. We're working on a couple really amazing things, especially going into the new year with this partnership. So look out for what's to come with Sagicor. If you're joining us for the first time, this is Ready to Emerge Detour Essentials Live. We're here every Wednesday when we're not on break at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, but I know we're all on the same time now, right? So now it's just 8 o'clock p.m. And
I'm so happy we're on the same time.
I know you're happy, right? Because you've been joining us at 9 o'clock every Wednesday. So
It has been a struggle.
welcome to the world of 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
So,
Hi, Vincent from New York.
Hey,
Vincent, that is cold in New York.
So,
but Vincent, I heard it was t-shirt weather today, like 64 degrees. I mean, for New York.
Where's that? Where's Vincent? Oh, in New York.
Yes, but 60s is t-shirt weather in New York.
Is it?
Yes, absolutely.
Not for me. Well, I guess because I would still absolutely be in my sweater and all the things. So guys, if you're joining for the first time, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this episode. If you haven't shared this episode yet, you need to share this with a friend because this is going to be a really impactful episode. We have a great speaker joining us tonight, someone that we've had on our list since we started Detour Essentials Live early last year. So we're glad that we're finally able to have her on the show. I see some of her peeps are here already. Holborn Spartans are here in the building. If there's anybody else from Holborn Spartans, let us know you are here. Show our guests some love. So some of you may be wondering, for those of you that know us, we are the Emerge Trio, but just for a little bit, we are the Emerge Duo. As Rochelle is running a little bit late tonight, so we're going to still continue the show until she joins us. But for those meeting us for the first time, my name is Naomi Garrick. I'm also known as the PR Chick. I'm a personal brand coach as well as a PR consultant and the founder of Garrick Communications, a boutique PR agency here in Kingston, Jamaica. And essentially, I help individuals and brands to stand out in a noisy world. I'm also a proud part of the Emerge Trio. And really happy for tonight's show as we have our special guest and friend joining us tonight.
Hi, everybody. I am Kathy Goodall. I'm also a part of the Emerge Trio. I am a leadership and growth coach, marketing strategist. And I'm just happy to be here. I can't believe that we're at the end of season 5 already and the end of another year. That's crazy.
Oh, look who's here fully tonight, Rochelle. So last week, Rochelle she joined, she left, but then she still ended up watching the entire episode. So we're very happy to have you here, Rochelle. Welcome for a full show tonight. So guys, we're really going to get into it. As I mentioned, if you're just joining, Rochelle will be joining us in a little bit. She's just running late tonight, but we're going to go ahead and start. So tonight, we're going to be joined by a powerhouse of a woman, Sagicor's very own pocket rocket, Loeri Robinson, a St. Andrew High School old girl, whoop, whoop, dancer, actress, event planner, financial advisor, entrepreneur, and business owner. Laurie epitomizes the phrase "little but tallow." With a passion for excellence, Laurie is currently at the top of her game as a financial advisor at Sagicor, winning multiple awards and also became the first person in the existence of Sagicor, going as far back as Life of Jamaica. I don't know how many of you remember Life of Jamaica. If you do, that means that we are around the same age. But she was the first person in the existence of Sagicor to actually be named the chairman of the production club for 6 consecutive years. Now, this is an accolade that's only reserved for the top financial advisor overall. This is like within the entire Sagicor. Now, I've been to Laurie's office before. I've been to several of her offices, and the thing that stands out when you walk into Laurie's space is that there are trophies everywhere. I feel like this is why she has to keep getting a bigger office all the time, because there's just not enough space to house all of her awards and trophies that she's won since she's been at Sagicor. Laurie now leads her own team. She's a unit manager, but she also runs her own team, The Force, which is really a group of high performance financial advisors. She is the biggest history maker and record breaker at Sagicor. Laurie considers herself to be a faith-based and spiritual woman and continues to inspire the next generation of advisors to find ways to differentiate themselves in their areas of expertise in order to stand out. Please welcome to the Emerge stage, Loeri Robinson.
Woo!
Hi.
Hi, Laurie.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Welcome.
Thank you so much. What an introduction. No, man.
You know, I'm so happy to hear that, right? Because Rochelle is the person that does the introductions, and she is always like amazing.
Everybody wants to put them in.
I'm just trying to play the role since she's not here. So
you're holding your own. You're holding your own.
Thanks, guys. So, Laurie, we are so excited to have you here. As we mentioned, you know, you have always been someone that's been on our list of guests that we love to feature, just because your story is so interesting. And then, of course, you know, I'm super excited to have another St. Andrew High School old girl on our panel tonight. I think that really helps to highlight the greatness that.
That's right.
You know, this is a conversation. It's a conversation we have from time to time, but you know, I share the stage with someone from Immaculate and someone from Campion. So it's just really great to have, you know, one of my peers here in this space to talk about your greatness tonight.
Right.
And I'm honored. I'm happy to be here. Sorry that you had to go to the other school, Kathy.
Listen, I gave Laurie last week, so I'll give her hers this week.
I'm so excited. So, Laurie, in your introduction, we heard many experiences, right? So there was dance troupe Jamaica. So for anybody that used to go to their shows, I mean, Laurie was a lead dancer. I don't know if you guys remember Dancehall Queen. Were you a part of that production as well, Laurie?
So I was a baby at that point in time, but I've been
oh my God, I mean, like I'm an oldie?
No. I've been in many music videos and.
Well, I remember Marshalltown.
Lord, nobody call him out enough. I don't know nobody go try and find it.
Guys, it's on listen, you can check it out.
Sagicor don't know that life.
Oh, but it's such an important part of the journey. So you are a dancer. I remember your events, Eye Candy. I remember Saki. I think is that what it was called? The Asian Fusion Party. Right. But moving from all those experiences to now financial advisor and so much more. So as you mentioned, Sagicor doesn't even know about all that stuff. But one of the things we really like to share with our audience is we want to share a little bit about the journey. So what I'd like to hear about is your journey before becoming Sagicor's most awarded financial advisor.
Lord, I'm like a cat, you know. I've led many lives. So where you want to start from? Because it has started from birth, you know. I've been dancing from I'm 3 years old. I used to be at the Jamaica School of Dance in Lacadco as a kid. Little People, Kathy Levy Players, you know, Woolmer's Dance Troupe, Sam Harpel Marion. And of course, Dance Theatre. I am a coach, are the senior dancers for Woolmer's Dance Troupe. I've also acted. I've been in a play with Oliver Samuels as a lead actress, Rasno and the Hawk. Yes. I
wonder if we can
represent.
find that on YouTube as well.
No. So listen, we had, it was two of us. I wasn't I was in school at the time, so I wasn't there when they were taping. I was away. So, but there are pictures, and I don't want you to dig them up, right? And yeah, I've sang, I've done backup singing, so I've toured Europe, Latin America, the Caribbean, US, China, all over, singing, dancing, acting. I've just always been a creative from I'm a child, and a serial entrepreneur from a child. So I've had a company from I'm a kid. I get a high. I get a high.
What were you doing as an entrepreneur as a kid?
Well, I always loved fashion. So I had a t-shirt line called Colors, and I would puff paint different stuff. I would do diaries, make diaries and sell them at school. My father would supply me with all the shirts, and me and my cousin who would sell those. It was good for a kid. And in high school, sweetie, buys all my bag full of sweetie. I just get a high from my child. I had my bank account, and I got a high from saving. And I got a high from, I've never been broke, and I'm never ever gonna be broke, right? Because of my mentality from my child.
I love that. So what happened after that? So you went through dancing. What did you want to be? So in school you have to pick these subjects to decide your career, and many of us don't really know what we want to be even at that age, right? So did you know what you want? What was your career goal?
All right, I'm going to backtrack a little bit. When I say I've never been broke, broke is relative, right? I've always had some amount of money. I've been actually broke, but I've never been dead broke. So let me answer your next question. To be honest, I started off wanting to do fashion design. Always wanted to be an entertainer. And then for some reason, I just fell in love with marine biology. And so I wanted to become a marine biologist. So actually in high school, I did both business and science subjects. I was able to do both for CXCs. But science, when I did research, because I'm like that from my child. I mean, from I was in prep school, I told my mother that I'm building my contacts from now. So I've been serious and deliberate. Yes. She reminds me all the time, she picked me up one day and she said, "Oh, mommy," I said, "Mommy, you know who that is?" And I tell her, I said, "I'm building my contacts from now." So I've always been forward thinking with that. So yeah, in terms of what I wanted to become, I was doing both the sciences and business. And then I researched and realized that the richest people in the world are either in finance or they're running their own companies. So, and I was busy in the back of chemistry class, mixing up things and breaking test tubes and giving trouble. So I knew that wasn't going to be the right path for me. Me and my friends, we were troublemakers. We're on a list in the dean's office. I don't know if you knew that, Naomi.
I was very much aware of your group, Laurie. I'm sure that I specifically asked not to be a prefect for that that specific form. So I know what you speak of.
Yes, we weren't really bad. But yeah. So parents, don't give up on your children, okay? Just don't. So I decided that it was going to be business some way, somehow. And then, I wasn't really too interested in school. I was more interested in boys and partying in high school, to be honest. And so my father was an architect and he was a developer. So I was like, all right, worst case scenario, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, you can go.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. So then when it was time to decide, okay, that you chemistry and bio, that's not really for you, but the route to the money is the entrepreneurship or something in finance. So what did you end up choosing for university?
Banking and finance.
Okay.
That's what I studied. Mm-hmm.
And then what happened after that?
So let me just backtrack to tell you why I even decided to go that route. So I told you I was relying on my father, and my father passed away shortly before my CXCs. So That was devastating, as 15, about to graduate, about to turn 16 later on in the year, a lot of milestones, and we were very close. So that plan I had to lean on daddy just went up. And then what happened to his estate? This is significant. So he passed during FinSAC. For those who don't know, we had a financial crisis in the 90s. And he, of course, as a developer, had certain loans, etc. And FinSAC had a huge impact. The hyperinflation that we had back then had a huge impact on his estate. And so I saw all of my father's hard work basically go down the drain, because by the time everything is done with the creditors, with the estate duties and taxes, with the lawyers, etc., even with all the assets and property, his estate was declared bankrupt.
Wow.
And so for me, the only thing that my siblings and I got was from life insurance. And so at 15 years old, I understood the importance. And I also wanted to know, what was this situation that we were in, why this happened to my father's estate. Yeah. And so that's why I chose to go into banking and finance, to kind of understand, what happened and how can I go out there and help people to prepare and plan properly. Because you never know what's going to happen next. You never know where the economy is going to go, but you can plan to stay strong.
Yeah. So this is a great segue into talking about post UE. So after you left UE, you said that you were approached by Chris Law to come join his team to sell insurance. So tell us about the journey of going into Sagicor and how it is that you have managed to be, such a powerhouse in the industry that you're in. As Naomi said in your introduction, you have created history, not just for females in Sagicor, but history generally across the board. So tell us about your journey from your transition now from university into Sagicor and that journey.
Okay, so I actually started off at Ithaca College in New York, upstate New York, but it was just my mother and it was just financially tough. Yeah. So I had to draw breaks and come right back home. Yeah. And so I finished up at UA. NCB actually gave me a scholarship. Thank you, NCB. Really? Yes. So Chris really dragged me right away from NCB, because that's where I was thinking of going afterwards. But Chris contacted me my last semester at UA. I was head on, gear on, wanted to get first class honors, and whilst doing that, finishing up, I started a journey to become a financial advisor. Yes, with insurance, but also investment options. Yeah. And so for me, it was more than just being in the financial world. It's about this avenue. Being a financial advisor allows you more to sit down in front of people and to actually have a bigger and greater impact in their lives, help them out. That is my mantra. I want to help people however I can. But when Chris approached me, yes, I want to help people, but when him showed me in payslip, I said, but no, man. Entry level job, who? Hell no. And I was like, no, man, this is the way I can help people and I can earn this. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how I entered Sagicor.
Just to say, Laurie is my financial advisor. I get approached by Sagicor team members all the time. And I'm just like, thank you so much. But actually, Laurie is my advisor. I have like 5 accounts.
And you need more, I joke.
I know. And I said that, and I said, she still wants me to do this Keyman insurance. I'm sure we're going to talk about it in our follow-up meeting in January 2022. So I'm prepared. So, but what I do remember, I know Catherine's going to continue, is after probably our first meeting, one of the things I remember is right after, Laura's like, all right, Naomi, send me a list of like 10 of your friends that you think could be interested in this thing so that I can reach out to them. So you were just like on it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. In fact, I don't have time to waste. I don't have time for self-pity, right? Yeah, I don't have time to waste, right? One of the biggest assets that we have in life, and people tend to forget this, is time, right? you have to be mindful and cognizant of that. And I've always been mindful of that. So I don't have time to listen to negative comments. I don't have no time to wallow in self-pity. I don't have no time to listen to sus. I don't have no time to socialize when I have my blinders on. When I am focused, I'm getting it done. So yeah, I'm not wasting time. I need to get some prospects from you because I need to see the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very vigilant. I'm very strong-minded, and I'm extremely confident because of the Holy Spirit. Because I have a lot of faith, I have a lot of trust in our Creator, and that is what keeps me going.
So, all right. So now you've decided that you're going to become an advisor. You go into Sagicor. How long have you been there now?
Lord of mercy, I'm not telling you.
But to excel at the level that you are excelling at, it takes a lot more than just passion and the desire to help people. So tell us about the journey of how you have managed to excel at this level of excellence. And I mean, really, you've set the bar for what excellence is in your field, not just at Sagicor.
All right. So as I've said it before, I'm very forward thinking. So even when I started that company, I Candy. So I started an event planning company. My best friend Tishan Lee. We wanted to kind of change up the party scene, but at the same time, we realized that in order for you to get to certain places and ascend, you have to be connected, or you have to have a particular network. So the whole point of iCandy, really, if you ever came to any of our events, you were collecting people's names and phone numbers and emails, right? So we were building up a network. We were building up a database. We understood, just like how Google is doing it now, where they're just collecting people's data, and we understood the importance of data. And so that actually helped to give me a strong foundation to be able to go out there and see people. And if you're doing a good job, if you're doing things from the heart, if you're genuinely caring about people, if you are fueling yourself with the ammunition and the knowledge that will impact lives positively, and you're not just going there to product push, right? People can look in your eyes and tell. People can hear you speak and tell. Energy transcends. And for me, I want to bring the best energy, and I want to bring the best knowledge to my clients. I am the facilitator for my clients. If they need anything with respect to money, I am going to connect those dots for them. And so I've always approached it as beyond Sagicor. We're dealing with people's lives, and I take that very, very, very seriously. And I think that makes a difference. When I sit down in front of people, they feel and see a major difference.
So let me ask you a quick question, right? So you had mentioned when you saw Chrissy's pay slip, right? And that was it. You were sold. How did you feel when was your first pay slip a big one? Or like,
no,
how was that transition? Were you disappointed when you got your first pay slip and you're like, but this is not what Chris showed me? Like, what was that experience, that journey to getting that kind of pay slip?
I knew, I mean, I'm very realistic at the same time. I knew in the initial stages, you're learning, you're developing.
Right.
So I'm not going to be there yet. But I was hungry, and I knew that was possible. And the way how I think, I don't compete with people, right? I don't compete with people. I compete with myself, right? So I know what I want. I know my goals and my dreams are humongous. I don't think you should limit those things, right? And so even though Chris showed me the pay slip, I knew I wanted way more than that. So I wasn't focusing on how much I was getting. I was focusing on when I need to do what I need to do to get there,
Yes.
And I remember halfway in, like 6 months in the business, I actually went on tour to sing for 3 months. And but I decided prior to that, I'm going to put in enough business to make sure that nobody misses me. And that my first year in the company, I was second place rookie, but really and truly, based on what transpired the following month, I was really number one rookie. And that was with me being away for 3 months out of the year. So, yeah.
Wow.
I had to get that money. You crazy? You can't see them thing there and don't push. I don't understand how people don't push.
So you
There's
talked earlier about the importance of insurance and how after your dad passed, that is what was left for you guys. And I was watching an interview that you did where you talked about the fact that that was what helped you to understand the importance. And I want you to share with our guests, the value, the value of investment and insurance and
And
even
planning.
planning, exactly, financial planning.
boy, you have all night?
Yeah.
We have
Because
we have we
honestly,
have time. We have time.
well, all right. These types of questions I like to answer more on an individual basis because it's such, I mean, we all have different fingerprints. We're all unique. Value can be different for different persons, or, what means something to you might not mean the same thing to another person. But generally speaking, um, insurance, so we can start with insurance. Insurance is the cheapest way of financing, and people don't understand that. Another thing that people don't understand is that insurance was developed by the rich to stay rich. So when you have these Rockefellers and all these top families, these first world countries and the top 1%, they have a lot of insurance because no matter what is going on in the world, they're going to ensure that that legacy continues, that wealth continues. And they put these types of plans in place to ensure that. And it's the cheapest way of creating that instant wealth. And they understand that because these people developed it. So for me, it is the best way to protect everything you're working so hard for. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not working so hard to just give it all away to the government for it not to go where it's supposed to go.
Right.
And so I've experienced it firsthand. And so it's the best way to protect everything you're working so hard for. And separate and apart from that, if you're a progressive person in this country, you can't escape it. Because if you're acquiring real estate, if you're doing a mortgage, if you're doing business loans, mergers, whatever it is a requirement, right, by the financial institutions. And what you want to ensure that you're doing is that you're not paying the bank to cover themselves. You're paying for a plan to protect your estate, right? If you do it through the banks, it's not yours. If you do it for yourself, it's yours, and you can have it for however long the plan lasts for, and you can reuse it for other acquisitions, and it is yours. It is your money building upon it. So, it has so many living benefits as well. I could speak about it all night, but that's the gist of it. You're protecting everything you're working so hard for. You're creating an instant legacy, an instant estate, tax-free. And there's nothing else out there that does that and gives the return on investment. For every dollar that you have in insurance coverage, you're spending cents. Yeah. You're spending basically, where can you put down 10 grand and get 20 million the next day? That doesn't happen. Right. And so people, they don't really understand what it's about. And, I could speak about that all night. But investments, no. First and foremost, we have a nasty little thing called inflation that, can eat away at our money, especially if you're investing for longer periods. Inflation is basically, we all love KFC. KFC is our national dish, right? I think it is.
Yes.
KFC back in the days was what? A meal deal was what? Like 100 and something dollars, whatever, way back.
Not what it is right now. That's just...
What is meal deal? What is that? What is the cost for a meal deal now, right? Way more. And so if you had that $100 back then, you're good. Yeah. But if you come into today with $100 to go buy no meal deal, you can't. And so not even a patty, exactly. Yeah. So what investments can do, if you depending on what you're getting into, it can help to maintain the purchasing power of your money. It makes no sense to put it underneath your mattress because you're actually losing money. And even in savings accounts, there are fees and tax, withholding tax. Right? So a savings account, it shouldn't be for an investment. It should be for money that you need readily. Right? So investments also help you to create wealth. Yeah. Right? If depending on what you get into, you're making your money work for you while still sleeping. You're making money while you're relaxing, you're chilling.
Yeah, but that's
passive income.
That nocturnal revenue.
Nocturnal revenue.
That's how you grow wealth, through investment.
Exactly.
I tell people all the time, my deposit from my house came from my investments.
Exactly. And you want to be consistent with it.
Yeah, I mean, so we talked a little bit about insurance, but I think that people don't really understand that there's so many different kinds of insurance that protect us from so many different things. I didn't realize it until, I mean, obviously when I got older and I started to have to think about these things for myself. And when I moved back to Jamaica and I was exposed to I just thought insurance was life insurance, health insurance. I didn't know
No.
there was critical illness. I didn't know. So, I mean, I think it would be great if you could share some of the types of insurance or the necessary types of insurance that you think everybody should have.
Most of them are necessary, right?
Okay. You know?
First and foremost. But definitely clearly life insurance, right? To protect all of this existence that you're in now. Clearly health insurance, right? That goes without saying. But the reality is that if you get seriously ill, health insurance plans can max out, especially our local ones, or a health insurance plan cannot pay for the airfare for you to go overseas to do a procedure, right? A health insurance plan cannot pay for your monthly expenses whilst you're out recovering and you possibly have lost your job because you're out recovering, right? Some specialists don't even want to accept a health card, right? Some physicians.
That's
so at the end of
true.
yeah. So at the end of the day, you need to ensure that if you're critically ill, you have some amount of cushion or a whole heap of cushion that can help you to offset those expenses that your health card can't pay for. And you don't want to be dipping into your retirement money or your investments whilst to get better. That is for you to enjoy. And so, critical illness plans allows you to get a lump sum cash payout if you're diagnosed with certain illnesses or you have to do certain procedures, certain surgeries. And then the insurance company doesn't tell you what to do with the money. So I've had a client, who has, gotten her payout and she didn't use all of the money, and the difference she used to buy real estate, which she's been renting out, and she better than me and you today, in terms of she's healthy. So, and that's another thing too. Critical illness doesn't mean that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, we're hearing you fine.
Okay, it doesn't mean that you're gonna die. It just means that it's something to take serious, something to work on, something to stay positive about. That's another thing too. Another reason why we get sick or we pass prematurely is worrying and stress. And wondering, okay, I need to do this surgery tomorrow. Where the money going to come from? You don't want to be relying on GoFundMe and you're waiting on that little marker to go to the goal for that surgery that you needed yesterday or 10 days ago, right? You don't want to be doing no fundraising or begging in the papers. You don't know if somebody's going to help you. So you have to plan for these things. And I think even my parents' generation, they did not plan properly, right? Mm-hmm. And that would put me into pensions, right? Everybody needs to make sure them sort out stuff for your retirement. But so there's personal accidents, which can give you a weekly income if you meet in certain accidents. Income replacement, disability. There's major medical, which is our international health insurance. There are so many things out there that people can get into, and that are applicable based on where you're at in life. So sit down with a proper financial advisor and get these things in place. Believe you me, it can maintain your wealth and allow you to live a better life.
And one thing I think is important for us for people to understand is that the earlier you start, the better off you are. For the simple fact that, like for me, I started using insurance as my savings initially, because it comes automatically out of my salary or out of my account, and I don't see it. And I will tell you that when I stopped working for a while, it was some of the investment parts of my insurance that I literally lived off of for months.
Right. Exactly. So it's very important. As I said, time is your biggest asset. So you have to start early, especially if you're getting compound interest monthly on your investments. That is what really makes your money go exponential if you're in investments. And so a man who start with a grant today, doing it every single month consistently, earning compound interest. 5 years has passed. Another man wants to catch up. So he says, all right, I'm going to put 4 grand in the same investment. It takes that man with the 4 grand roughly almost 25 years to catch up to the man who started with a grand 5 years earlier. And so that is the importance of starting early and starting. You don't have to have a large amount, just start.
Yeah.
Just start something. Yeah.
And you know what? Just to jump in here, I remember, and I mean, we've spoken about this before. We've actually had Naja on the show. Sometimes it's when things hit close to home that you realize the value of having insurance. And Naja is a mutual friend of ours who was diagnosed with breast cancer at a very early age, which really startled everybody. And that made quite a few of us decide that, okay, we really need to get this critical illness plan, and what other insurance plans do we need to help to ensure that, one, if we are diagnosed with something like that we can afford it. I know people right now that don't have any kind of insurance and they're suffering because, I mean, just one chemotherapy treatment is so expensive. So it really makes you start to think about the majority of our society and how do they function without having some kind of insurance plan, something to fall back on. So, as Laurie said, it's really about being aware and not waiting until tragedy strikes when it's too late, right? Ensuring that you have something that can help you when the time comes. So
I have a great question here. What if you didn't start when you're younger? Can you catch up, and how? How do we do that?
Yeah, you definitely can catch up. It just requires more sacrifice. It requires a lot of discipline. You have to structure your portfolio in a way that can accelerate. I mean, you definitely, you have to. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a lot of sacrifice, but it can surely be done. You don't wait. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Just start.
Yeah, and I think as you grow, I mean, Laurie knows when we have our yearly talks, right? I probably started off with one. I saw someone in the comments when I said I have 5. They're like, just 5?
5?
Okay,
That big one.
like slowly roll. Let's just we're starting somewhere, right? But it's you as you get older, also you start to really understand the value and all the things that Laurie is sharing and why it's so important, right? I have a son. I want to make sure, and I've experienced death fairly recently, and I want to make sure if something were to ever happen to me, I know he's okay, at least for a period of time. So those are the things that you really start to talk about. So I'm one of those people that didn't start young. I started late, but we're catching up, right, Laurie?
Yes, we are indeed, and she's sacrificing. I can attest to that.
Yeah. So the sacrifice is real. I almost stopped one of them this year. It's just like, no, man, just push through, and we're pushing through.
So, Laurie, I mean, you've been operating, like we said before, at such a high level within Sagicor. But then you found the time to start all these other businesses, from the spa to unwind. So I want you to tell us about your entrepreneurial ventures, and tell us a little bit about, one, how you got into them, and about the actual businesses.
All right. So the spa, I'm not an active director with the spa anymore, but I've always been a spa girl. For me, yes, I work hard. Yes, I'm, aggressive and everything, but I also believe in balance and, centering myself, meditating. The world is filled with so much hurt and pain. And, you have to be able to center yourself and emit good energy to be of any use out there. And so I take that seriously, that balance, that work-life balance. I'm a spa girl. And so it was from that love and passion that I decided to partner with other persons that have been in the industry for a long time and create a good product. So the spa is there. I'm not active. My baby is Unwind Distributors. If you know me, you can find me in the pharmacy looking at every single ingredient, or the super. I don't like going to the supermarket because I just can't control myself. I have to see the ingredients and see what am I putting in my body, or what am I putting on my body. I'm very conscious about that. Yes. And with what happened to Naja, that just made it skyrocket for me.
Yeah.
So I developed Unwind because I wanted to bring products here or make products available to individuals that are great in terms of the health benefits, being non-toxic, as clean as possible, vegan in some instances, plant-based, just things that are body happy.
Yes.
Um,
I
and
like body happy.
yeah, things that are body happy is just another part of my mission to help persons, right? Because persons tend to think that things that are good for you don't work or them don't taste good, right? So you think of vegetables, you're like yuck, right? But
Mhm.
no, there there are things out there that are much cleaner, much healthier for you, that actually work great, work better than the synthetic and the toxic stuff that we use on a daily basis. Our bodies are being bombarded with all sorts of toxic things and radicals, and where people are getting sick left, right, and center. And I'm noticing it in being in the insurance industry. Almost every other person in M20 have hypertension now. What's happening, right? And so it's just from another avenue for me to give people another wellness option.
Mhm.
Financial wellness with Sagicor, and then you know wellness of the mind
Body
and
happy
body and
wellness.
spirit, body happy wellness. So that's what Unwind was birthed from. I'm wild. So I just decided I'm going to stop and I just find research and look for trade shows and expos, and I go around and I'll go to every booth and put a hat me, head a hat me, read all the ingredients, test, research, then I bring it here. There's nothing here that I'm giving to people that I don't use myself.
So what are some of the products that you distribute through Unwind? Just to give us an idea so we can look out for them.
Brandon. Hi,
Brandon,
Brandon.
I saw you jogging the other morning.
Um, so right now we have two brands, but there are different products within the brands, and we're onboarding some new ones next year. So one of them is Dazzle Dry, which
I'm the
is
biggest advocate for.
thank you. So Dazzle Dry is one of them. It's a nail polish, nail care line, but it's also a body care line, which is non-toxic. It has a mani-pedicide, so you scrub and you spa soak and your cuticle remover, all of those things. Was developed by the same lady that developed gel polish. So she developed the first formulation of gel in 1989 under the Pro Finish label. And in, I think, 1997, the FDA came out stating that, sorry guys, I know you probably don't understand this one, but the next one is for you guys. But the FDA came out with a statement stating that the lamps that we use for gel they can cause cancer. And so she didn't want to be associated with that. So she sold her patent and she went back to the drawing board and developed Dazzle Dry. So Dazzle Dry is the cleanest polish on the market. It has won the International Spa Association Award for being the most innovative product in the nail care line. It's also the Forbes Travel Guide official manicure and pedicure provider. And what that means is that, well, the Forbes Travel Guide looks for the best things within the spa and travel industry. And once they name you the official provider, you're number one in that category.
Wow.
So it goes on similar to regular nail polish, but it dries rock hard in 5 minutes like gel.
Like
If it's applied it's smudge proof in 1 minute. In 5 minutes, it's hard. Like you can go back to work, put on your pumps, go to the gym, put on your sneakers, go to the gym 5 minutes after you're dry. And once it's applied properly, it can last 7 to 14 days minimum, chip free. On me, it lasts on average 2 to 3 weeks. And the longest we've seen it is 6 weeks. So that's a dry. So non-toxic, safe for cancer patients, safe for mothers, for kids, for persons who are just conscious about what they're putting on their skin. Your nails, even though them tough, is a part of your skin, and things can absorb in your bloodstream from your nails. And women we don't notice that. Other nail polishes have carcinogens, which are cancer-causing substances. Gel has it. So you're getting a double whammy from, if you're using gel, from the lamp and from the ingredients in the gel. And other acrylic, all of those things have very harmful stuff in there that can affect our thyroid, affect our endocrine system, which is our hormones. So we don't know that, but I'm telling you guys that no. So people are getting sick left, right, and center, and they don't know why. And when you put everything together that we're doing, that's why. And then the other product, the other brand is Attack. ATAQ. So Attack is a vegan, a plant-based sports nutrition line. It's actually developed for athletes, but it's really for anybody that's active. So whether you walk, skip, run, jump, go to the gym, hike, it's for you. So there are different things. We have our protein powders, we have our performance boosters. So we have stuff for recovery and immune system, for your energy and focus. If you're on the job and you need a shot of energy, it's not going to give you like this high and crash like a 5 hour energy. It's actually natural plant-based stuff, just scientifically engineered to be put. It tastes good.
They really taste great.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
Then you have the performance and endurance, and then we have our hydration, which is similar to Gatorade but without all that sugar and more electrolytes. And that even allows you to metabolize your carbs and your fats better. And we have our energy bars. So we have some of our Olympians. Megan Tapper has been taking it from 2019. We're about to launch her as one of our athletes next week.
Oh, awesome. Congratulations.
Right. Thank you. So it actually works, right? So we have our Olympians, we have some of our Olympians taking it, Chad Wright, Megan Tapper, different persons in different activities. The Olympic Weightlifting Association, we're discussing with them now because a lot of them are using it. It's I use it every day almost. So yeah, and we have other things that we're onboarding and everything. Don't worry, I've gone through every single down about how is it impacting the body. So it's all body and skin happy.
That's awesome. I love how you've just taken this entrepreneurial journey that you said you started from you were like 9.
You know what? I lied to you earlier, you know.
So what you lied about? Tell us.
I lied about something. I left out something. When I was a child, I told my mother I want a conglomerate. That's what I told her.
Wow, Laurie.
I don't know where I learned that word from, right? But I said, Mommy, I want a conglomerate, right? And so this is it for me. I'm building my conglomerate. I get bored easily.
Of body happy products.
Yeah, and other things going come.
And I'm sure on other things. So one of the things I want to know is like, with all these things that you're doing, right? First of all, we didn't talk about the force.
All right.
So Laurie is also the lead member of the Force, and you can find them on Instagram, right? What is the Force?
The Force JA.
When I started popping up on my feed one day, I was just like, wait, is this a new company that Laurie has started outside of Sagicor? Is this still within the realm of Sagicor, but these are just like the top of the top? Or like what?
Top.
Tell us about the Force.
So Sagicor has been on my back from 2014 to become a manager, and I've gone in and out. I've recruited some top advisors in the business because of my in and out. And then I finally decided, okay, I've accomplished everything I've wanted to as an advisor, really and truly. And it's now time for me to give back. It's now time for me to, create a force to be reckoned with. And so, I pray about it. Anything I do or any business I'm starting, I pray about it and I meditate until I get the conviction within my spirit to do it.
Yes.
And so the Force, basically, is that I'm the manager for a team of financial advisors that, I recruit and train and build to go out there and not just product push, but to seriously go out there and advise people with a certain level of professionalism and demeanor and genuineness. That's I'm very selective with who I bring on my team, and I just want to create something powerful. I drill that into them. If you're not doing this from the heart, if you're not doing this to impact lives positively, this is a wrong space for you.
Yeah,
love that. And how has that been so far? You've had the Force started this year, right?
Right. So I was appointed as a manager in December last year. I mean, I started the journey from 2018. I started the journey because it's a process to develop a team. And we have some top advisors. One of the best performing advisors so far is Tiffany Lawson.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and she's doing well. There's Catherine. There's so many of them that are doing well. We're in our infant stage. We're growing.
Yes.
We're learning. And don't worry. Very soon, you're just going to be like, yeah, man, the force. Yeah, I need to. The force needs to be with me. The force.
The force
Yeah,
is with
yeah.
me. Oh
The
my
force
gosh.
is with you. Yes.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love
So
it.
it's a play on Star Wars as well.
Of course.
The name. Yeah.
Love that. So with all these things, the force, right? Unwind, all the body happy products, and just what you do typically as a financial advisor. How do you spoke about balance earlier? How do you find the time to do this, manage your clients, manage personal relationships, and just have time to do the things that you really want to do? What are some of the things that you do to kind of just in order to live your life at the same time?
Make the time. It's very simple. Make the time. You have to. For me, there have to be certain boundaries and barriers. If I'm not taking care of myself, if I don't have a cutoff time, if I don't have certain limits, no, Laurie, you can't work at this time. No, Laurie, you're not gonna answer this at this time. I am of no use to you because I'll be frazzled, right? So
Right.
I have to create that balance, that time. There are times when I need to be working on the beach on a Thursday, right? Before this whole remote work thing, I was remote working, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I will say to myself, okay, every month I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the villa, and I also have. I mean, you work hard. You have to enjoy your life. You can't be making all of this money. You can't be building whatever. You can't be running down this or running down that, and you forget to exist. You
Yes.
forget to live.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's very, very important to remember that you're not just here for yourself either. You're here to make a mark,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, I just make the time. I mean, some of my my friends kind of get the boot sometimes. They just have to understand when Laurie's zoning or she gone in her cave, it's
Yeah.
all good. But when she come around, it's all fun. Yeah. So yeah, I in the mornings, don't ask me to do nothing, don't call me. I'm not answering you. That's my time with my God. Up to a certain time, my God and Jim or whatever, leave
Yeah.
me alone. I'm not gonna answer you. Just don't try calling me. So I have created those blocks in my life where it's my me time.
Yeah.
So people that see you externally that maybe don't know you, or even people that interact with you in one capacity, they don't get to see you in a different capacity. I mean, from the outside, when you see Laurie, the first thing you see is this stylish, fabulous person that just commands a presence when she steps into a room, full
With
of
her little short self.
right?
You don't see so short because she like exudes this like confidence, as you
Confidence,
said.
exactly. But not just confidence, you look good, right? And so your
Great.
outfits are always, statement pieces. And you talk about your faith and you talk about your grounding, but I don't think a lot of people really understand how important that is and how integral a role it is in your life. Um, and so I want you to talk to us a little bit about your faith walk.
To be honest, I don't know how people do it. I
Oh,
don't know how you
wait 1 moment, because we have a special guest appearance.
you
Oh,
made it.
hello.
Loeri Robinson. I drive like bad woman.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
I tell you, me say if at 10 minutes me I get with Laurie in a gel polish, at 10 minutes.
Yeah. Take off my
Hey,
gel.
Laurie, darling.
In a dazzle.
Hi, Rochelle. Welcome to our show.
Right?
Yes, Laurie.
Right. So my faith walk, as I said to you, I really don't know I don't know how they do it. I mean, for a while, I'll be honest with you, I was an atheist, right? Because I grew up in the church, my mother at one point was a Sunday school teacher, and I had a lot of questions. But this thing is bigger than religion. It's bigger than a book, right? And it's realer than real. And so for me, that source, that energy, that peace. And a lot of people, I mean, I did not have the peace that I have now, right? It is a serious thing. It's not, people get focused too much on the Bible and the word and, the false prophets and whatever. It's about a relationship. It's about why am I here? It's a relationship with the source, with the creator, right? And knowing that once you say I'm going to fall back, the creator going to catch you, right? And when you have that type of understanding and belief, and I've been through it, I've felt it, I've seen it. It's not just me talking or giving lip service. When you have that type of bucketive, right? When you tap into that source and you create the time, right? And you put a smile on your face knowing that bucket is behind it, even through the nastiest of times, it makes living here in this realm, in this time, a lot more tolerable. It makes you feel like you can do anything, but it's not really you, doing all of it. It is really the source that you're tapping into, right? And, you have people who don't believe or whatever, and they do well, but a lot of them don't have peace of mind.
No peace.
And for me, what is the point of all of this if you cannot have genuine peace of mind? And so it is very important. If you ask my boyfriend, like, in the morning, she in our worship, she in our meditation.
Yeah.
There's not some, if I get up one morning and I don't do it, I feel funny throughout the day.
Somebody asked a question. They want to know, Laurie, can Laurie give us some suggestions on where to get a power suit?
I have a lot of suggestions. You have to tell me your budget. What's your budget?
What's your budget? That's the best
Different type of financial advice.
What's the budget?
I have a designer, and I fight with her a lot of the times, but I'm a perfectionist. I'm meticulous, so I get the best out of her. Sophia Jones. She's excellent and she's affordable. There's Kenea Linton locally. There's so many designers locally that we could tap into. I'm really, a strong believer in investing back in your country and being patriotic. Not because something a little bit cheaper over there, you go buy it on Amazon when it's right here. Especially in these times of the pandemic, we have to invest back into our country, right? And so you want to embrace local designers as much as Pepsi budget. Jesus. Lord forgive me. Well, maybe you can go find some banana leaf outside and make a power suit for yourself with the Pepsi budget. I'm just kidding. There are a lot of options. You can talk to me one away. DM me. I'll help you out.
And the thing is, sometimes you could have things that are right in your closet, but you just don't know how to put them together, right?
Right. Always have a white shirt.
Yeah,
a nice white shirt. Always, you start off with a black jacket or, just, it's right there in your closet for the most part. You probably just need to accessorize, without spending a bag of money. This looks well expensive, but it's not.
Give you the feeling richer effect, right?
Exactly. I feel richer in this necklace and it's not expensive. So
yeah. And it's giving that look, Laurie.
Thank you.
Yeah. Brandon says
cheap and clean.
Cheap and clean. Brandon, why don't stop give trouble, eh? Can't manage
all he does over here now. That's all he does over here. So Rashi, welcome.
Thank you. I'm a little thirsty. I want to reach for my water, but I have one plastic cup in here that don't look good for the camera. So I'm thirsty. So I soon drop off so I can just drink. But listen, Laurie, can I have one bag of question for you?
Lord of mercy.
Laurie, I think the thing about you and I have seen you on a stage presenting and you are this dynamo. And people, you're little because you're a short person. And since I'm a mini giant, like when you stand up beside me. But I think you surpass height. It's not about height. There's just a dynamism that you have. And a lot of times, we struggle with being cute, like you look good, you're bright, you're powerful. And, people have all manner of things to say that is enough enough. That's why you reach. And for those people who struggle with just emerging and being their whole self, and they're holding back, worrying about what other people are going to say, what would you say to them tonight?
Boy, let me tell you something. I don't get too caught up on bodily image. This matter will go away one day. We're all going to the same place, 6 feet under, right? My height, your height has nothing to do with the power within, right? My height does not limit me. I mean, there's always something that's going to be taller than you, right? So that for me, when people mention, oh, Laurie, whatever you have, I'm like, you don't have something you want me to mention what your nose look like? Like, what's the point, right? I'm being real right here, right? Yeah. I think everybody is beautiful in their own way. People laugh after me when I say that. Where nobody's better than anybody. I firmly believe in that. Nobody's better than anybody. We're all put here with different gifts and different offerings to the world. It's just a matter of us tapping into our purpose and why we are here, right? So for me personally, I don't give a rat's ass what anybody wants to say. Mouth make for talk. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. If that tongue want to put death out there, I rebuke it, right? If that tongue want to speak well on me, I receive it. I have the power to receive or rebuke, right? I have the power to receive or rebuke. God give me freedom of choice, and that is my choice. I can tell you, arm's length, stay away, and I can love you from a distance, right? So I don't get caught up on what people say. A lot of the times when people say things that are just horrible or just, insane, it's because that person is they're hurting.
Yeah.
When people do those things, they're hurting. A lot of people are hurting. This is a tough world to live in. And so I do feel some amount of pity for them, because that type of energy is not good. No. So they think they're hurting me, or they're saying something that will hurt me. I don't care them hurting themselves, because that's the toxicity they have in their system. Yeah. And it's not affecting me. Yeah. Right? I keep it moving. I have my eye on the prize. I don't this is what you want to say, right? I don't have no time to keep up with the Joneses. I am the Joneses, right?
Ooh,
so
hey, Laurie.
Right?
Go sip your water, Russia. You need to go sip your water. Go sip your water.
Yeah. Why am I wasting time being hung up on what hurt people are saying or thinking? I have to focus on me being the best version that I can be of myself, competing with myself, reaching my goals, touching as many lives as I can. I don't have time to waste on that. What is it going to do? How is it going to help me thinking about that? How is it going to help you if somebody's saying something negative about you? How is it helping you? Go use that as fuel to make them have to say something good. Whether them say it out loud or inside, but say she's really good at what she do. Even though I can't stand her, I don't care if you can't stand me, because my life is beautiful. Whether or not you're around, it's beautiful. You have to love yourself first. Everything else comes after.
Yeah. I could feel the not even the Andrews girl came out.
Yeah.
The Andrews girl came out a while ago.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like that must be a champion girl.
But don't even want to come here tonight. Okay.
No, that's why you see me for rushing.
Just give me my space. Just give me my space tonight. Okay. With my one little Andrews girl here on the show.
Rachel said just pass around the offering plate.
but let me tell you, Laurie, I think you have such a powerful platform to impact lives, and you would be surprised just the simplicity of what you said, receiving the good parts and allowing people, like hurt people hurt. But when you say I am the Joneses, when we live in that space, I am enough, I am worthy, that is so powerful. And that's grounded in knowing who you are in Christ. You see what I did after there tonight? You see what I'm after there, Laurie?
That's right.
Today here tonight.
I'm so happy to be here, guys. This is powerful. I love what you ladies are doing.
And you know what's funny, guys? At the beginning of the show, we were talking, and Laurie was sharing the fact that these things make her a little bit uncomfortable, right? This is not her. This is not her safe space, right? But she knows that she does it because if she can inspire or impact in a positive way, then it makes it worth it. But the thing is, I feel like Laurie's like once you start, it's like you just turn on.
They're
It's like
natural.
it's
Absolutely.
just this is just you. And we can
Yes.
see even just from the comments and people's
Mhm.
reactions that what you're saying really resonates. So we are also grateful that you stepped out of your comfort zone to join us tonight and to just really show up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. No much of these are things I tried, duck and hide and don't do. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to do them.
You need to.
Yeah.
Your voice needs to be heard.
Yeah, but even bigger than that, Laurie, is that your voice being heard, but people hearing their own lives through you, and in you are empowering in illuminating for people what can be done. You're giving them permission also for go do your best, go live your best life, and I think that is so powerful. As I thought about you today, because I follow you, I love what you're doing in business and how you show up. And I thought to myself as I was tearing down here, I drove through a red light, don't tell the police. But Laurie, when you look at where you are now, do you say to yourself, I'm proud of Laurie?
Oh, God. Every day I'm like, God, look at you. Look at God, I'm like, look at you, thank you. Every morning I wake up, I say, good morning, God, thank you. You're amazing, Going to bed, I love you, God, good night. I hope these people don't pressure you too much tonight or tomorrow. Come, you're under pressure with this world, right? But I just had a brain fart. What you said?
We're talking about how you being proud of Laurie.
Yourself, yeah.
Right. So
it's nice.
It's funny because that's something I wanted to mention. I've spoken about a lot of the glitz and the glamour, the great things that has happened to me, and it's been a journey. It's been a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I have experienced a lot of things what other people have. I think the major difference between me thriving outside of a lot of bad things in my past, it's just the mindset. It's the battlefield of the mind, right? Everything starts here. You can choose to not feel that way. You can choose to move forward in a particular direction. I mean, I have been through a very abusive relationship, almost killed, was abducted, different things, that I've endured where, as I tell you, the financial crisis, my parents basically lost everything. My father had a wholesale in Walton Park, and he ended up in his friend restaurant and had to close the company, and we're living there. My mother had to live in one of our friends' bedroom for a while with me, and until we could figure it out. A lot of traumatic things have happened, but at the end of the day, they're just things. They don't define me, right? What I choose to do with that is what defines me.
Yes.
And so I'm extremely proud of myself because it takes an enormous amount of strength. I mean, other heartaches and disappointments that you face in getting to know yourself as well. And it builds your character. If you look at it the right way, it builds up a character and a strong foundation. When you're rooted and grounded, the wind can't box in any direction or fly over there. So these things root and ground if you look on them the right way. If you have a strong faith, if you're deeply rooted, right, you can only grow and be stable in your growth. And so I look back sometimes on a little girl and say, boy, sorry I had to go through all of that. I look at my baby picture, I'm like, I'm sorry, but look at you now. Look at you now.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. God is great.
All the time.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
Everybody was like,
I tell you, Jonas, I already passed the collection plates.
Yeah.
Wow, Laurie.
And Laurie, you know, when you say that, you look back at your young pictures, because sometimes we can't, the past is a reference point for us to be reminded of God's grace, to see where we come, where we are now, and we look back at this point too, and we look and say at another point and say, look where I am now. I didn't even know you could. Look how you even go on good, God. Look how you go on good.
Amen. Amen.
All I'm
And you
hearing
know,
is Nesbeth's song, My Dream, My Dream.
My dream.
And look at me now. That's all I'm hearing. Like when you're talking, I was like, wow, look at that.
Yeah, and I don't want the people to feel like even when you're here, you have it all figured out, you know. It's still a journey.
No,
It's still a journey, but guess what? It can
Every
be
single day.
more, it can be a beautiful one, even when it's not going great. It's just, you can make it absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
Wow.
All right, so I cannot
So we're
believe
not
it.
very speechless often. We always have
I
something to
know.
say. I'm just looking at each one of us and everybody was like,
Talking.
so what we must say after this?
Best advice.
Over to best advice.
Best advice, boy. I give a few.
We actually have
Mhm.
a couple. Kat, you over to you.
Okay, go ahead, Nay.
Okay, so best advice that you would give or you have received about life. Sorry.
Best advice about life that I've given or received.
Yes.
Backside. So I mentioned one before. I think it's very important that we don't compete with other people. I think it's important that we stay focused and fixed on competing with ourselves and our goals within. That is something I think is very important. And let go of the scarcity mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This scarcity mentality is ruining a lot of persons, where they think that if somebody has something, they can't get it. God did not create a world that does not have resources for us to all tap into our purpose, right? Mm-hmm. So we need to let go of the scarcity mentality. If I am doing well, you can do well too, right? If I am doing well, might be mean a little bit different, but you can do well as well. So not because I am doing well, you're going to hate on me. Mm-hmm. You understand? The time you spend focusing on hating on me, you could be focusing on doing well for yourself. That's because right. I'm doing well. So what the hell? Right?
That needs to be a shirt.
Yeah. All right.
That's a bumper sticker right there.
I'm doing well. What the hell?
Best advice about love.
Best advice about love. I'm a very loving and caring person, even though I have up a wall. That wall is there because of how mushy I am inside. Be careful. Be careful who you open up your space to with respect to love. Be patient. Love is patient. Love is kind. Right? But at the same time, don't give up on love. Love is one of the most beautiful experiences you can have in life, even when you lose it. Don't make it bitter either. Right? And as I said, for me personally, everything I do from the heart, and it comes with love. Once you're doing things out of love, there's nothing. I mean, I can't give you much advice beyond that. Just do things out of love.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Best advice about insurance.
Start now. And another thing I want to point out about insurance, because there are people that will say to you, oh, I have insurance. Let me explain something to you. Having insurance and having insurance that is applicable to you and your life and your goals are two different things, right? And I experienced it with my dad. My father had insurance, but it wasn't enough based on his obligations. And because of that, my brother ended up homeless for a while. Even though money came in, it wasn't enough to take him to junior college and other things at the time. And his mother surely never had it, right? And he was homeless for a long time, years. Had that been there, he could have finished what he needed to do in school and etc. So having insurance is not this. That doesn't mean anything. How much do you have, and how is it applicable to your life? That is what those are the things you need to ask. Those are the things you need to ensure that you're covering.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, Laurie, just there's a little upping that I need to do with that insurance thing, and I can
Listen, don't let me come and hold you.
Laurie, here we go. I'm just like I'm so busy, and I know that the Lord. This is a joke.
Hello.
No, she did not.
And each one is labeled with what it is and what it's for and who is the beneficiary. Okay.
All right.
We're not
always
playing.
update to beneficiaries, guys. Very important.
Yeah,
Well, you know I didn't
Always update to beneficiaries. I have been in an instance, guys, with somebody that I knew from high school. His dad died, left his mother alone as the beneficiary. And the mother, I don't know, she just turned on the family. She's the only one that got proceeds. She hurry up and cremate the man. And she don't look on our children or our grandchildren. They got nothing. They came to my office crying, right? Always put your children on. No matter what age they are, put them on. Because you never know.
Yeah, and Yamfoot actually says insurance needs for those without dependents or family would be different.
Definitely.
And them look good though, Yamfoot Evangel College.
That's a dry.
But you know, even what I've learned is that even though they are different, sometimes we think when we don't have children in terms of dependence that way, it's not as important. And I have just seen, especially with critical care and those critical illness policies, that in fact it helps you become the dependent on that insurance.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's so critical to have the conversation and to keep having the conversation with your insurance advisor, because sometimes you get to a particular stage and you're like, I'm fully covered, but you're at a different stage in your life and you have to keep up in it.
Right.
And I see
Rochelle, that's so funny. That's how I feel every time I meet with Laura, right? I feel like, okay, I'm good, I'm on track, I have this, and then she's like, no. So based on what you're earning now and what some of your goals are, I think we should also now look at this particular.
That's right.
Or we need to increase this one, or we need to. Yeah, it's not just like, okay, I have a plan and I'm okay.
Yeah, so there are two things I'm going to mention. The first thing is that you don't have to have dependents to have insurance. I took out my first plan when I was 24 because for me, I love my mother, right? And at that time, I said to myself, my mother worked hard all of her life to ensure that I could be here today, right? If something happened to me tomorrow, I want to know that I left an impact. I left something for her. That's why I took it out, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I bought my first home in my 20s. And I had to have life insurance in order to get the mortgage.
Yeah.
Even NHT, guys, you have to have it. You can't escape it. So it's not just about people who have children or dependents. You can, some people even do it for the association, the charity, whatever is meaningful to you. You want to ensure that whatever you have built up in this space will go to them and will, you can leave a legacy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And as with respect to health, that's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
The medical expenses are sky high. A lot of bills that I've seen are $20 million and over.
Mm-hmm.
But for critical illnesses, and that's the reality that will wipe you out if you don't plan properly.
Correct.
Yeah. And a friend of mine wanted Sagicor's policies, those investment policies. So something she was doing recently, and I was like, why you don't check how much is on the policy? Because she had opened it years ago, and when you don't believe that something, so she wasn't paying it any mind. So I said, just check on it, man. Maybe there's money on it that can be used. And she calls me in this voice. She's like, hi, darling. I'm rich.
Yeah, man, that reached a few of my clients.
Listen,
They're
it's a
like, huh?
wonderful feeling.
She's like, don't talk to me rough. Shh, shh, shh.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So, Laurie, best advice about business?
Best advice about business. If you're seriously thinking about going into business, you have to understand that it's like giving birth to a baby, right? It requires a lot of your time and attention. So when you see people in business and they're doing well, don't envy them here, right? It is a lot of hard work, right? It's a crying in your brain when you're asleep, say this need for do, and you have to wake you can listen, it's not a joke. But you want to surround yourself with a team, and you want to have persons that you can rely on, persons who have been there to give you sound advice. You know, you can go on with your trial and error, fine, but trust me, you need to surround yourself with people who can help you. You need to look for resources and read and, you know, follow things on social media that can help you to build your business. And you have to be serious. You have to be serious and focused.
Yeah. Last one. Your favorite book?
Can I tell you a secret?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like reading.
Okay.
It's not one of my strong suits, I will be honest. That's something I'm working on now with audiobooks, but it's not. I get bored easily, my attention span. But my favorite book, let me think, would be actually love Animal Farm.
Animal Farm is a great book.
Yeah.
I reread it.
Absolutely. So many
Yeah.
lessons to learn from that book.
A lot of lessons.
Yeah.
Actually, I should actually reread that one.
Yeah.
No,
It is.
it is.
Listen,
And
it
An
is.
excellent book.
Age and seeing
Yeah.
what it really is saying is amazing.
Yes.
I read it every couple of years. And
Yeah.
audiobooks is reading, because me is an avid reader, but sometimes you don't have no. When me audiobook it, me as read it. Me as read it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely, Animal Farm is my favorite book.
Mm-hmm. All men are created equal, but some are created more
But
equal.
some are listen.
Yep.
That book.
It is deep.
It
It's
is
very
very.
deep.
And they made us read that in high school.
Yeah, because it was a second form or third form.
Yeah.
I actually didn't have it for my year, but yeah, my brother had it and I picked it up one day. Back then I would do some reading and I was just as glued.
Yeah. I didn't do Animal Farm.
And they had an animated version of it as well. So I remember watching that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you know, I'm glad you mentioned that book, and I'm glad you said I'm not an avid reader. I'm working on it, because some people think like something is wrong with me. No, all of us process and receive information in different ways. So you may not be reading the same books that Naomi is reading, but you are also receiving information. And it's important that we recognize all of us don't do the same thing. And some of us audiobook it. And I know a lot of people, when you said Animal Farm, them is like, the last book that we did read though.
Well, yeah, you know, I can tell you for me personally, I learned through picking people's brain. I'm not the most sociable at times. Sometimes I'm a lot of the times I'm quiet and reserved, but I am extremely observant and nothing don't miss me. And when I sit down in front of you, I absorb, and I love picking people's brains. I love real life conversations, and then people can tell me what the books that they read when I pick their brain. You know, that's how I read the books.
I love that.
So we need to big up Sagicor because in the comments, Fiona said that she just loves that she lives overseas and she still can get all her things at Sagicor, and Sagicor honors everything. Somebody else said yes, Sagicor honors all of my claims and I live outside of the US. Yamput
Awesome.
said she lives outside of Jamaica and Sagicor honors all of her claims. So we definitely need to say thanks to Sagicor and big up.
Big up Sagicor. Sagicor strong.
And somebody wants to know where they can get Dazzle Dry.
So we have I actually have an outlet on 9 West Kings House Road, so you can purchase it for yourself. That's close to Fontana, Waterloo. So follow us on Dazzle Dry Jamaica. We can deliver it to you. We're in lots of salons and spas. We're in almost every resort spa. Just contact us, DM us, Dazzle Dry Jamaica on Instagram, right? Contact me as well. And yeah, we have an outlet and we'll deliver it to anywhere. You have people in Mobay, St. Elizabeth, all over St. Anne that get their products consistently. We have some Dazzle Dry lovers, boy.
I don't listen. I never used to polish my nails, my fingernails at all until Dazzle Dry.
Right. So it's actually, yeah.
Girl, I've never been at acrylics. I never used to, and I use my hands so much, it just never made sense. But
right.
since Dazzle Dry, I actually polish my nails now.
Yeah, it's hypoallergenic. So if you have skin issues, it's good. Huh?
Yeah. No, I was just saying to Kathy, that's such a good deep story that she doesn't, she never used to polish her nails. I was like, what did you do?
And thanks to Dazzle Dry, now I do.
But as Kathy said, no, thanks to Dazzle Dry, she does it, but she polishes her nails. But I think for me, it is that I remember when you launched it, and I remember just seeing the launch photos and so on. And every time I go into a salon and I see Dazzle Dry, and I think, oh my God, that's Laurie's brand. So I want it. And I encourage that, there's something so amazing seeing a brand grow and you see the person behind it and the hard work that you put into it. And you're like, yo, I'm proud of you. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, it real. Like, I'm proud of you.
It takes a village, It takes a village. I have to big up my mother. I have to big up my mother. I have to big up my friends, my best friend Tishan, Lee. I have to big up my boyfriend, my assistants and the people that work for me. No man is an island. I have to really big up everybody, because to be doing all of what I do and have hundreds of clients and being there for them the same way, it's not an easy feat. But once you have that faith and that great determination, you get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. Catherine, are you ignoring Brandon's comment? Her brother lucky
she responded.
I thought we could keep it between us. I didn't allow it go.
We'll lock you up. I will lock you up, Brandon. Put you away in an asylum.
He only gets worse over time, he doesn't get better. Only worse.
You have to love Brandon. You have to love him.
Absolutely. Laurie, we've been here for an hour and a half. I cannot believe it.
And we said before behind backstage.
Really?
How long is this gonna? She said, how long is this gonna last? And I was like, about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
9 o'clock. And here we are.
I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to Mobay, to go train Secrets and other places. Guys, I'm going to fall asleep around the steering wheel. That's the type of
we're wrapping up right now. Laurie, this was amazing. Thank you so much for joining us on Ready to Emerge finally. I know Catherine wrote a whole book of notes that she's gonna do in her repost from the show. So we don't even have to go through all, but so much information, inspiration, and just little nuggets of wisdom that we can use throughout our lives. I know everybody has their favorites based on what you spoke about, and I'm glad Rochelle was able to join us for more than 10 minutes tonight, because I know she was really looking forward to this show as well. So we just want to thank you, Laurie, and we just want to encourage you to do what you're doing and to continue inspiring others with your own journey, and to also step out some more with this voice and this story and this encouragement, so that others can also see you and hear you and create their own experiences because they were inspired by something that you had to share.
That is right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was my absolute pleasure, and I love this community. And guys, keep up the good work.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
And Laurie,
Thank
we
you, Laurie.
pray that God just continues to bless you. And as you say, as you look back at the versions of Laurie, that you can always look and say, God, look at what you do.
Many versions. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And there's so many
Awesome.
versions. And there's so much more to come, Laurie. And we are grateful for you, and we are just amazed just seeing what you're doing at what God can do, because you are showing us what faith looks like and what God can do. So we cannot thank you enough. We are the Joneses, girl. I'm doing
We
well.
are the Joneses.
That is right. Right. Thanks, Laurie.
My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much,
Thank you, guys.
Laurie.
All right. Blessings, love, and
And
guidance.
safe
And
drive
protection.
tomorrow. Safe drive
Thank you so
tomorrow.
much.
Go to your bed.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
So, guys, next week is our last show for the season, our
For
last
the
show
year.
for the year 2021. I cannot believe that we are coming to an end of another year already. It has been an eventful year. It has been a year of recovery for a lot of us. It has been a year of clarity for a lot of us. It has been a year of birthing for a lot of us. So it's been exciting, and I am excited about all of the things that we have in store for Emerge for the remainder of 2021, moving into 2022. I'm excited
Mhm.
about that. So you have to stay tuned. Follow us on all of our platforms at Ready to Emerge Now, at Ready to Emerge. You can email us at readytoemergenow@gmail.com if you want to get in touch with us. But we will respond to you through our social platforms as well. Yes, Alicia, can you imagine already? This is it. Next week is our
This is
last
it.
show for the season and for
So
the
make sure
year.
you join us next week because in
Mm-hmm.
addition to our special guests, we may be doing a couple of other little fun things.
Mhm. And guys, just to point out that Tamron Hall's show was renewed for 2 additional seasons, and I claimed it for us. I'm like, more seasons to come, and that's how we're going to just announce that on the network we're renewed for 2 more seasons. Because I live in that space. So we're planning how we're going to do the announcement, and so yeah, that's how we
And I'm
stay.
especially excited that the place is opening up again and we can start to do live workshops and
Yes, we
live
can't
things
wait to have
again.
real face-to-face, in-person workshops again
Guys,
and summits.
yeah, we're excited about that. So stay tuned. See you again next week, Wednesday, same time, 8 o'clock. For those of you in America, well, East Coast and the Caribbean, we're all on the same time zone now. I can tell I'm excited, right?
Yep.
See you next week, Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Until then, be safe. See you soon, guys. Bye.
Bye.